Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We have some good stuff that we're going to do inside of the Maverick today. But before we get started on the inside, we have to go back and fix something on the outside. Now, let me show you exactly what I am talking about. On the last video, we did some exterior carbon fiber trim, and for the most part, I am very excited and happy about it. However, there was one thing that did not quite turn out like I expected for it to do. It turned out, but there was a margin of safety that I wasn't comfortable with. So let's show you exactly what has happened. Okay guys, the carbon fiber trim that goes over the XLT badging here, it stuck very well, except for at the very top. And if you look back at the video, you'll notice that it was a little bit loose at the top. Well, one of the things, and I can see it's still trying to stick in the other places, but one of the things that you have to realize when you're putting something like this over a panel like this, see how this is textured? When you have a textured surface like this, everything has to be optimal for it to stick to that surface. The temperature needs to be warm, at least 65 degrees on the place that you're sticking it to, and it has to be clean. But there's one step that I did not do. Now on the other pieces, it was fine, it didn't really need it, but on those textured pieces, there is another step that you need to do, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need. And what you will need is adhesion promoter. Now I went online looking for some, but I really needed it today, and I stopped 3 different places and none of them had it. I knew I had some in the garage, but I don't know how you other guys are, but there's stuff in my garage that I know is in my garage. I had it in my garage, I've seen it in my garage, but I can't find it, and it's in my garage. So I went out looking for some, did not find any. One place said they had it. I got there, they said they didn't have any, they could get it by this evening. I said, okay, I'm gonna go back, look in my garage and see if I can find it. Sometimes you can get away with not having it, but in this case, not so much. This is adhesion promoter, and that's exactly what is needed when you're putting something on that textured. Now I don't know if the heat gun is making this easier or harder to get off. To me, when I'm heating it up, it looks like it's becoming more sticky than it is easy to get off of here. I don't know. Let's try hitting it with some heat. Okay, we have wiped the surface down with alcohol. Now we have to cut some pieces out to put back in place, so the ones that we did take out already. So I'm just going to lay them out in the same spots where they previously were. Oops. Try to get them fairly straight compared to where they were on the first go around. Cut them off. Probably better to use a razor blade for this. These scissors are not what you would call super sharp. Just lay that piece out there like that. Okay. You know what I did not do on that first piece? I got the adhesion promoter sitting right here and I didn't use it, but let's pull it out and wipe this down with some adhesion promoter. Okay guys, we went ahead and put some new two-sided tape in all the areas that it was before, and even some areas that it was not. This is the absolute definite 3M two-sided tape. Not sure if the previous one was actually 3M, but 3M is pretty much the best that you can buy, and this is made specifically for auto trim. I have used it in the past to attach everything from spoilers to trim to anything you can imagine. Just get the surface clean and then heat it up before you put it on the car. Okay guys, we did reseal these. They are rock solid now. The new 3M tape that I put on there, I mean, they're not going anywhere. I heated it up really good. It's warmer today and it turned out beautifully. So just to recap, you guys may have not been able to see in the last video because of the bad lighting that we had because the dark was coming in. Oh yeah, that's the front. And we did the both sides. Yeah, I redid this side too. I redid both sides and it's now it's solid as can be. I like the way they look on there too. And the Motegis, I tell you what, the Motegis are looking good on her. People stop now. You know how people stop when they see a Maverick, they're like, what is that? Now they see this lowered and all the stuff that I've done to it and they're like, what in the world? And I love it. It handles great. It's not sitting too low. But we're in the garage today because we got something else. Here, of course, is the mirror. Oh, sick, baby, sick. But we have something else I want to show you guys. We have. So, that being said, what do we have special? Last time we did the carbon fiber trim on the outside, which we just looked at. We do have a couple more things. Some of you guys who may have seen in the comments, there was a company that wanted to get with me about doing some sponsorship stuff for some other items, and we just have to wait to see how that goes. But in the meantime, some of the other stuff did come in, and it is sitting right back here behind my head. So we have some interior items, and the first one is, it goes around where your radio controls and your vents come through, and it is more carbon fiber. Now, last video, I don't know if I ever told you guys, but in case you wanted to know, is that really carbon fiber? And I said you have to hang around and figure it out. Well, it's not. Matter of fact, I don't even know if there's any real carbon fiber stuff that is available for the Maverick, because a Maverick, for all intents and purposes, is a low volume, well, not low volume, we know how many they're selling. It is a budget vehicle. So the chances of a company making carbon fiber stuff for the, I'm sure they may do it eventually and probably will. But for right now, we have some things that's way less expensive and still looks the part. And if you will look at that gem right there, gorgeous. Yes, it's gorgeous. And I know the process that is used because myself, I used to do the same thing. I had a pair of, if you've ever seen the 92LX Fox Body Pro Street car that's on my garage, seen in the videos, I did a pair of Terminator valve covers, and I learned how to do hydro dipping. And I did those valve covers, hydro dipped, and clear coated them. And every time I went somewhere, people were like, wow, where did you get carbon fiber valve covers for a Terminator? And my answer was, I didn't. And that was my first attempt at doing hydro dipping. And this, whoever made these essentially look as good as genuine carbon fiber for a fraction of the cost. So I will put a link in the description so that you can, if you wish, order these yourself. I'm not going to put everything carbon fiber in the interior, but I do have two pieces. This will fit where your radio knobs and your vents come just below your entertainment center. And then we have one more piece, and I'm going to pull that out right now. And then after I show you that, we're going to get inside and install this stuff. It's not going to take very long. It's warmer inside the vehicle. I've already wiped pretty much everything down. The other piece that is one of those areas that's readily visible is right where your cup holder is, where your gear selector knob, park button, driver modes, and the little cubby hole there that you can put stuff in. Yeah, so it's made by the same. And when you get these products, if you will try to get the same place, get most of your stuff from the same place or close to it, it will look pretty much a match. Sometimes you get odds and ends from different companies and their quality is this or that. I try to get them all from the same company. So as you can see, these are sweet. I can't wait to get them on there. And just like the other pieces, they've already got the adhesive already applied. Now these you don't have to be as careful with sticking them down. And like I say to other people, they like, well, I don't know if I like it, it might fall off. At the very, very least, what you're going to be doing is, one, on the outside protecting your mirrors, because you know, road debris, stuff fly up. And if these get cracked, oh well, you just take a heat gun and peel those bad boys back off of there, and you're right back where you started with the painted surface. So everybody doesn't like this kind of stuff, but hey, this Maverick is going in a performance direction. I told you guys that in the very early videos. If you go back to the very beginning of this channel, as far as the 22 Ford Maverick goes, I called this a vehicle that was somewhat of a performance vehicle. And there were a whole bunch of people like, it's not a performance vehicle. Probably the same people who say that the Maverick is not a truck. And I'm here to prove and to tell you already, we've already been 1490s in a quarter mile in this. And I'm telling you, the way this handles, people who have these little sports cars around are pulling up on me right now. They see that they have that eye. They can see that it's lower. They hear the exhaust tone that is a little more pronounced. And you know how you get that look when you pull up in your Maverick? Those of you guys who have Mavericks, people are like, what is that? A Maverick? I thought a Maverick was a car. You've heard it already. But there are people who now, even more so, they're like, what is that? I mean, does it come like that? You know, some of these guys who are performance vehicle oriented are looking at it like, wow. And you know, this was my goal from the very start. I wanted a vehicle that will perform, that I can haul my stuff in, that I can put my family in, that I can still haul in. I'm gonna post some pictures up, hauling. In this video. And yeah, we're going to do it. Got some information from Dominion Raceway the other day. I'm going down there for a luncheon, and we'll have more information on that coming up in the videos ahead. But before we do that, let's get these installed. All right. So before we put these on, stick these on down for good, let's do a little test fit to see how accurate they are. Okay, let's just slide it over. Oh wow. This fits absolutely perfect. So before we stick this one down, I'm going to go over that area with a little bit of alcohol, and then we'll just get that stuck down. Okay, we've got the area all wiped down with alcohol. Now let's get to pulling these little strips off and stick it right on. That's probably the thing that's going to take the longest. I don't know how steady you guys' hands are, but earlier with the trim pieces for the car, I ended up taking a little stick pin and sticking it in these strips, and it made it easier to come off, because you really have to really pick at it to get that the red backing strips off. But I will caution you, because this is similar to the trim pieces outside, you're going to have to make sure that you get it all lined up very well before you stick it down, or it's gonna get stuck in the wrong place and you're gonna have a time getting it off. Okay guys, I'm back in the vehicle, and I'm telling you what, I ended up taking a jagged edge finishing nail, I don't know if you guys can see that, to help pull off the backing off of all of that, because there's some all the way down in the little teeny spaces as well as the bigger areas. And I'm here to tell you, it took me about 7 or 8 minutes just to get that stuff off. It's just in there, it's tight. Now some of you guys with steady hands, maybe you can get it off a little quicker than I did, but hey, I ain't fronting. All right, so you want to just try to fit it right over where you know it goes, right, so you get it all on there the first time straight. You don't have to try to reposition. Push it down tight, and if it's tight, it's right. Get it pressed down all the way around. Make sure you don't get any of your buttons in the process. Okay guys, a word of advice: should you decide to do this, heat it up. Heat up the adhesive strips before you put it down. And also, when you pull the backing off, make sure you get all down, the pieces all down in the crevices and everything. The pieces further down in there, pull those off first, and then the ones that are on the outside. So we're gonna stick it down and see what it looks like. You see my air freshener going off down in there. Ooh la 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 la. I did heat it up with the heat gun. Now we are sticking it down. Go all the way around. Push it down. And it's not going anywhere. And there you have it. And as you know, I don't be cracking on my my console. Yeah, I got junk all down there, but I didn't have to move any of that stuff. I just made sure I wiped this area down here with alcohol, and it is money. Let me tell you, I'm loving it. To me, it couldn't look any better, even if it were real carbon fiber. Because to me, it looks very, very similar, and I've had both. I've had both real carbon fiber and these hydro dip type pieces, and I love it. So now, from the inside to the outside, we have carbon fiber. All right, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this carbon fiber interior piece installation video. Keep on tuning in because we have lots more in store. We're going to do a driving impressions video so we get out and show you how this thing handles. But have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the next one.